What is going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is just giving you guys my thoughts about Apple's most recent event. So I did do a recap video of that event, and if you guys missed it, go ahead and check it out. So basically what Apple did in this event was announce 3 new products: the iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, and then the Apple Watch. Alright, first let me start off with the 2 iPhones. Now I'm going to talk about both of them together because they're basically the same thing, except there's a size difference. Plus, you know, there are like some, I don't know how to explain this one, but they're both very similar to each other, just the size difference, and then there's like some little bits of tweaks into it. Alright, so the iPhone has definitely gotten bigger due to these 2 devices. Alright, the iPhone 5 and the 5S came with a 4-inch display. Now the iPhone 6 has a 4.7-inch display, and then the iPhone 6 Plus has that 5.5-inch display. So that'll be rivaling with the big phones out there like the Galaxy Note, maybe the Galaxy S5 devices. Since like Apple is starting to get into the game of these big smartphone industries, and to me, I think that's a good thing, because the iPhone screen, even though that was a 4-inch display, I still feel like it needed to be a little bit bigger. 4.7 inches was just fine, and then 5.5 is just even better in my opinion, because I like having big phones. I've been dealing with a 3.5-inch display for a while, and I want a bigger size screen. And I have seen the Galaxy S5 in person before, and to be honest, I think that'd be a pretty good size for me. Some people may say 5.5 inches is a little bit too big for them, which that's understandable because not everybody can get used to the same size. But for me, I could see myself using a bigger display. And Apple has demonstrated the benefits of this kind of display, such as, let's say if you turn your device into landscape mode, you have 2 different views right there, depending on what app you're in. I can see them trying to take an iPad experience and then try to put it into a mid-size smartphone. I say mid-size because this is in between of the smaller size iPhone to the bigger size iPad. So that's why I call it a mid-size. iPhone 6 Plus to me is like the mid-size type. I don't know how you guys would refer it, but to me, it seems like a mid-size. Because I betcha when you're using like Apple's email app right there, that's probably one of the advantages right there. Doesn't have to be that particular app. It could be third-party applications out there. Alright? As far as the iPhone 6 is concerned, I'm not sure how, if they're going to have that feature. I think they will. I'm not sure because I did watch a little bit of the event. I'm not done with it yet, but I did see a little bit of it. When they were demonstrating it, it looks like they took the size of the iPhone 6 Plus screen, not the iPhone 6. So I'm not sure if the iPhone 6 will have that kind of capability. I figured, why not? Because 4.7 inches should still be compatible with that kind of feature. But either way, you know, I'm not saying I like the screen size to be bigger just because, you know, I wanted a bigger phone. Alright? You know, I could deal with this one no problem, but the thing is, you know, sometimes if there are like certain things I want to view on my screen, I have to do it one at a time, whereas with the iPhone 6 Plus, I can view it simultaneously. So one part of the screen has, you know, the shorter part, and then the other part of the screen, which takes up most of it, I can see a lot more in detail. So I can see more text with a bigger screen. That's why, like, I've always wanted a Samsung Galaxy Note, and possibly the S5, if it can provide that kind of capability. Otherwise, I could just get the Note, no problem. You know, again, it's basically your preference. It depends what you want. If you want a bigger screen, go ahead and get the bigger devices out there. If you just want, you know, a somewhat small size screen, but not too small, then go ahead with that. Maybe the Galaxy S devices or the iPhone 6, you know, or if you have to, go to the iPhone 5S if you want, you know, which I wouldn't really suggest doing, since like the newer products, from Apple has been, pretty sustainable, I guess. I don't know how to say it, but they're basically up par right there. Yes, they are going to have bugs in them once they first come up, but Apple can just fix it with a software update. Otherwise, you would just wait for a few weeks or so until they fix the bugs, fixes, then you can buy the new devices. Who knows? Maybe your contract isn't up yet, so therefore you are forced to wait. Alright, so that's basically how I feel about the iPhones. As far as the specs are concerned, they put a lot more power in there, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot speedier than the 5S, but to me, iOS, I feel like there's not much you can do still, even with iOS 8 in there. But, so far it seems like this is for gaming. Now, what if you want to do other stuff like word processing or creating documents and such? Because, doing simple tasks like that, I mean, I have tried it on this one before. It's tedious, to be honest. I still prefer working on my computer and then using a dedicated, processing application and just go along my way. Who knows? Maybe the new devices fix that. I don't know. To me, I still feel like iOS is still kind of stale compared to Android. But then again, I really don't know if they really, because Apple is more into making it easier and functional for the user. They want it to be simple. That's what they're about. Android, you can basically go on about and do what you want. So, I don't know. It's really your preference. Now let's talk about the Apple Watch. So everyone has been craving about the Apple smartwatch, and they've been referring to it as the iWatch, and then Samsung has already released their version, the Galaxy Gear, as well as, there was the Pebble smartwatch, which it was a smartwatch, but basically more of a basic type smartwatch. And how do I feel about the Apple Watch? I feel like while the design is very nice, and I gotta admit, it looks really good with the 3 editions right there, but I feel like it's just like any other smartwatch out there. Why is that? Because you can't use the watch by itself without having the need of another device. For example, the Galaxy Gear, you need like a Galaxy Note 3 at the time, or a Galaxy S4 device, whatever device is compatible with the watch. I'm talking about using the smartwatch by itself without any other devices. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's the case, because the Apple Watch, you need like any iPhone 5 device and then all the iPhones after that. So clearly, from what I've understand, the watch is unfunctional unless you have an iPhone 5 and then the devices after that. I would have liked to see the watch do its own capabilities without the need of another device. And if we need to connect that to a Wi-Fi, then I have no problem doing that. Or maybe put like some sort of 3G radio in there, or of course, who's going to do that in a little smartwatch? Plus, if you do that in a little smartwatch, I'm pretty sure the plans will be outrageous. I don't know. But, I don't know. I would just like to see smartwatches having their own capabilities without the need of another device. That way, who knows? Maybe if a jogger wants an MP3 player, but want to put it on their wrist, the Apple Watch would be a perfect device for them. The problem is that they're going to need another device with them. And if they don't want to do that, or they don't want to carry their phone while they're running, then that kind of defeats the purpose. Alright, as I was editing this video, it looks like my memory card got filled up again. So I apologize for that, but what I was saying before it stopped recording was that, smartwatches, I wish they had their own capabilities without the need of another device. Unfortunately, Apple, it looks like they haven't come up with that kind of solution yet. I mean, so far, the Galaxy Gear, you need like get a Galaxy device in order to take advantage of all its functionality. Otherwise, to me, I don't know what smartwatches really are. So what do you guys think about these new products Apple has announced? Do you like them or hate them? Do you agree or disagree with me? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And will you be getting these new devices? So that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.